What if I were to tell you that every year America's most powerful men, politicians, CEOs, even presidents of the United States, gather at a secret retreat in Northern California to set the agenda for our nation? In 1878, the Bohemian Club held their first retreat at a place called the Grove. Over the years, the all-male, invitation-only retreat has included everyone from Walter Cronkite to Warren Buffett. I've heard all kinds of crazy stories about what happens at the Grove, from the origins of the Manhattan Project in 1942 to the determination of presidential candidates since 1900, even that the roots of the United Nations came out of talks at the Grove. But the members of the Bohemian Club simply do not talk about what goes on, so the speculation is endless. Only the members know what the truth is. But if you tell me that FDR, Eisenhower, Nixon, Reagan, Bush, and Clinton are all members of the same secret organization, I want to know what this group is all about. I'm Brad Meltzer. I've spent my life collecting stories. The best include signs, symbols, and codes, secret meanings that are hidden in plain sight. Some have become the basis for my novels, but I've only scratched the surface of what's out there. And now, history has given me the resources to investigate the rest. This is Decoded.
Who's ready to join the super secret club?
Hey, what's up, Brad?
Brad.
I am.
You are going to one of the most secret, exclusive places in the entire world, to the home of Bohemian Grove. The question is, what is going on in this place?
Yeah, that
absolutely.
is the question.
And the most amazing part is, Max, is whatever is going on, you'll never find out because there's no women allowed in the place.
Oh, come on. Do they know what year it is?
Maybe it's the world's best funded frat party, but you know what I care about most is that no reporting comes out of there, they won't tell you what goes on, and no one's allowed inside. And you know what that means? I want to go inside.
Exactly.
However you slice it, these are some of the men who make the biggest decisions in America. And they're meeting annually in the California woods to discuss the future of our country. Not only that, but they're extremely vigilant about keeping outsiders away. People have tried for years to infiltrate this group with almost no success. So maybe it's just summer camp for rich people, but even if it is, why keep it so secret?
The Bohemian Club was started in 1872 by a number of journalists. It was a club to get together after work and have a good time. Pretty soon thereafter, it started to change its character as it let in non-artists, just patrons. Patrons who had money, and artists usually need money.
Did they sort of take over and change the flavor of this thing?
Let's take the motto of the club. Weaving spiders come not here, from Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. And that was originally the motto for an intent to not bring your business here.
Weaving spiders come not here.
Yeah, don't come here and make deals and weave.
Okay.
You know? But when you have more businessmen, and as we see, it eventually morphs into something where you have people in the highest levels of major power sectors of society coming there, it's known now for opportunities for networking that are very beneficial.
You know, I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but I think when you've got the most powerful people in the world, the most powerful, influential men who won't let anyone else know exactly what's going on, gives a little cause for concern.
Craig, how come we can't go there? If we just wanted to go in to check it out, why wouldn't we be able to?
To be a full member, $25,000, 15-year waiting list, so it's quite expensive. If you're not an active member or you're not a guest, you can't get in.
Weaving spiders come not here. It is a great motto. I want to steal it for myself. But there's been debate about what the Bohemian motto means for decades. While some believe that Heimbichner's assessment is right, others say that the meaning is completely different. They believe that it means that lies are not welcome at the club, and that makes complete sense to me. What isn't in dispute, though, is the exclusivity of the club. There are said to be only 2,700 full members, and that the waiting list numbers some 20,000 people. The thing you have to remember is that these guys are ultra secretive, so information is scarce. And that's when rumors quickly get started.
So what is the cremation of care? The word cremation kind of gives me the willies.
Yes. Cremation of care is the big kickoff ceremony that opens up the camp. And it started in 1881. It's now done with the voice of Walter Cronkite as the owl. But let's talk. And he was a member.
Hang on a second. Walter Cronkite's voice is in an owl?
Is the owl. It's a 40-foot owl. It's huge. It's at the owl shrine in the lake. And what they do is they get together. They're in
He
red
says
robes.
matter-of-factly.
Yes.
I'm Walter
I mean,
Cronkite.
you have to do this matter-of-factly because it's just too much right material. But there's a huge ceremony, a lot of ritual, and what they talk about is cremating care, the dull care of the world. So they're going to go into this big party and they're going to kind of put their conscience and their worries aside, so to speak. They end up investing care, all their cares, into this coffin, and it's burned, actually. So at the foot of the owl. And there's a lot of cheering and all that sort of thing when it happens.
When you say partying for 2 weeks, though, I still would love to know what that looks like.
All right. What it looks like, well, you have people peeing against redwood trees, getting
Yes.
naked. You have fishnet stockings, people in drag, Elvis impersonators. You have a lot of crazy stuff going down.
So it's like
Was J. Edgar Hoover a member?
William Casey was a member.
It's like a barbecue at your house.
Yeah. This is my kind of party. Cross-dressing, urinating.
Get on the list. You got 25 grand?
These are the people who shape the way we think, what we purchase, whether we go to war.
How our
Right.
taxes are spent.
That's right.
Who's elected?
That's right.
So what about infiltrating the Grove?
It's pretty tough to do now. Security's really tight there. You can't just walk in.
That doesn't mean we won't try.
Oh, absolutely.
Just makes you want to do it more.
More determined. You tell her something she can't do, she wants to do it.
We all know that secrets are hard to keep, so it amazes me that these guys have been able to do it so well for so long. Now, there are some things we do know about the Bohemian Club. The owl, which is their mascot, is said to represent their thirst for knowledge of all things. The origins of the name Bohemian are also extremely interesting and not what you think. The patron saint of the club is Saint John of Nepomuk. He was a 14th century Czech priest who was the Queen's confessor. St. John was martyred when he refused to divulge the secrets of the confessions to the king, and the original name for the area that became Czech Republic was Bohemia.
All right, well, we should just chat with some
Let's
folks.
stop here. It's a coffee shop.
Information happens at coffee shops, right?
Hello. We're trying to find out a little more about the Bohemian Grove. Do you know if it's around here or anything about it?
Scott, she doesn't want to talk to you.
Apparently not.
We're just trying to find out about the Bohemian Grove and maybe how we can find our way there and get in. Okay.
Do you know anybody that belongs or anything like that?
No.
Do you know anything about Bohemian Grove?
Being local, there's a lot of people that work there, and it's all hush-hush.
Wait, so even the employees are sworn to secrecy?
Probably.
How do the locals feel about the place?
I can only speak for myself. There's a song out that says, I don't want to gain the whole world and lose my soul.
Wow.
Really? You feel like those are the kinds of people that come to this?
Absolutely.
They have the whole world but no soul.
Yeah.
Okay, you might think that the locals are afraid to talk. Ooh, spooky, someone got to them. But maybe they're just playing this smart. Every July, there's a huge infusion of cash into this small little town, and the residents might not want to bite the hand that feeds them. Still, Buddy, Mac, and Scott need to find out the other side of this story.
You know, it's weird. Only 2 weeks a year the thing is ongoing, and then what happens the rest of the year? I'm wondering how tight can security be on this place?
Yeah, exactly. There's no one there now, so we should be able to get in.
But here's the deal, guys. If there are no trespassing signs, we have to be careful, because if we pass those, we could end up getting arrested.
But this is research. It's different. We're not trying to steal anything.
All right, how hard can it be?
No trespassing.
Okay, well,
Violators will be prosecuted.
yeah, but on the other hand, there's a parking place up here, and the gate is not shut.
Okay, you guys ready? We're going to go for it? Just a little further?
Oh, there's a video surveillance
Oh,
sign.
whoopsie.
The Grove is among the most well-hidden places in America, and its location is no accident. The redwood tree canopy is so thick the place might as well be covered by a concrete dome. The first piece of the Grove was bought in 1899, and it was made up of 160 acres at the beginning. By the 1960s, Bohemian Grove had grown to the 2,700 acres it is today. So, what's it worth? A woodlands preservation group recently paid $4,800 an acre for land that was nearby. That would place the value of the Grove for the land alone at $13 million.
Private property.
I'm Buddy.
All right, I'm
Good.
Greg.
Good to see
Nice to
you.
meet you, Scott.
Scott, nice to meet
You can't take a look?
you. No, it's private property.
Wait, are you a ranger?
No, I work for the people that own
We can't even just go right there and peek in.
No.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How come? I mean, honestly, just why? How come?
It's owned by a private group of people that don't want to have any cameras.
Don't want us.
No,
How about
sure.
just us without the cameras?
No.
Buddy's got $100.
But we're wondering in the meantime, maybe just a look-see at the 40-foot owl.
No.
No?
He's got backup, guys.
How did you know we were here?
Somebody told me.
Oh, they did? They dropped the dime?
A little
Who
owl?
told
A
you?
little owl told you?
And are you going to now really, truly kick us off?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Uh-oh.
Okay, listen. Nobody's saying anything.
There we
We've
go.
obviously caused a little bit of a stir here.
Yeah, that was weird.
I mean, within minutes.
They don't want us in there.
Clearly.
Really badly.
Now I feel like, yeah, there's something really interesting going on.
Okay.
All right, let's see what happens. I think
we're
it's
like-
time for us to get out of here. What do you think?
Okay, before everyone gets all uppity, this doesn't mean that the Bohemian Club members are trying to eat your babies. But it is a pretty good indicator of how the folks at the Bohemian Club operate. Greg, the security guard, he was real friendly. He was real pleasant to Buddy, Mac, and Scott, right? But he wasn't being completely straight with them either. Before Greg came out to talk, he'd already called the local police on us. So, of course, Bohemian Grove, it's private property. They're well within their rights in preventing trespassers. But for the first time, we saw the iron fist that sits inside that velvet glove. We're in Monte Rio, California, investigating the Bohemian Club. It's one of the most exclusive and secretive societies in the world. Every summer, the club holds a retreat at a place called the Grove, and many of the club are some of the richest and most powerful members of our country. We're talking about presidents, cabinet members, CEOs, generals, even Hollywood celebrities. The club has a strict policy of never revealing what goes on behind the gates of the Grove. So think of it like Fight Club for rich people, and you know rule number one of Fight Club. There are a variety of stories about what happens at the meetings, including decisions about, if you want to believe this, who even gets to run for president. No big surprise, we've already been turned away at the gates of Bohemian Grove. So now Buddy, Mac, and Scott are about to meet with Mary Moore. She's a local activist who's been protesting the club and the Grove since the early 1980s.
I could care less if they're dancing around in tutus or having sex with each other, having sex with hookers. I don't really care. There are a few people on a global level that are pretty much profiting off of what a lot of other people are in misery about. Wars, rearming America.
So what? They want to have a private conversation.
Well, the fact that these are public policy talks without the public being privy to them. They actually brag about the fact that the Manhattan Project was conceived at the Grove in 1942. The Manhattan Project, of course, is what led to the atom bomb. Another thing that's just come down through the world history, Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan had a talk there about who was going to run for president first.
And obviously, Richard Nixon won that.
Right. And often these talks are indicative of what's to come in the next year or so. For example, in 1981, Caspar Weinberger, who was then Secretary of Defense in Reagan's cabinet, spoke on rearming America. And if you know your history, that was the time that the arms buildup happened.
What Moore is referring to is in the 1980s, Reagan led a plan to refortify the U.S. Armed Forces. Reagan had pledged during the 1980 campaign to restore our military supremacy over the Soviet Union. It was a fantastic plan, And many point to the Weinberger speech at the Grove as the beginning of this. So you see what happened? It was spoken about at the Grove, and then it happened in reality.